Unfortunately, in this cybersecurity landscape, a ton of organizations either going out of business, losing hundreds of thousands of dollars paying ransom. Backups are their last ditch effort and they don't have them. I'm Stephen Taylor, this is WeeklyST, and we're going to provide you a behind-the-scenes look at a ransomware prevention IT company. So I met with a prospective client today. They came to us, they said, our immediate need is we need a backup and disaster recovery solution. I said, of course, we can handle that. But I really wanted to dive in and take a bigger look, a more holistic look at their technology and everything involved. Because lately, backup and disaster recovery is a last-ditch effort. It's the second parachute, so to speak, given all of the cybersecurity issues that we see. And all of these companies that are paying the ransom, you know, the Florida city that we talked about last week, paying a $600,000 ransom, where are their backups? Because if they had them, they wouldn't be paying the fee. They wouldn't be paying the ransom. And so with this prospective client, I wanted to look at it holistically and really talk to them about all of the different ins and outs and being more proactive and more preventative so that we don't get to the ransom and the need for backups in the first place. Let's prevent all the issues from happening. Let's prevent the bad guys from getting access. And then, not that we don't need to worry about backups or not that we don't need to have them, but they're less of a plan B or the second parachute, so to speak. So the anatomy of the attack typically looks like this, and we've seen this here locally and then what you see on the national news. Very typically, the bad guys are getting in at the human element, right? A user, a team member is giving up their password, giving up credentials, clicking an attachment, downloading a malicious file, those kinds of things. So somehow the bad guys have crafted a way in and now they have a foothold. When they have that, you know, typically the systems might have been able to help prevent, but really, again, it was the user. You know, we need to educate our teams, we need to educate our society on what to look for, what not to click on, and what not to do in these situations. Certainly from a technology perspective, we need to keep our systems up to date. We need firewalls and security in layers to protect. We need two-factor authentication to prevent, even if they did get the password, then they still wouldn't be able to get in because of two-factor authentication. And then, like we're talking about, backups and disaster recovery. So should something horrible go wrong, we have the data and we can recover from the mess. But again, let's try and be proactive, let's be aware, let's be educated, and let's try and prevent these issues from happening before we get to, you know, backups and recovery situations, or worse yet, paying the ransom. Lately, in some of these national news stories, it turns out that the insurance carrier is going to foot the bill for these ransomware demands. Cities, these organizations, they have cyber liability insurance. They're going to pay a $10,000 deductible, but the insurance company is now going to pay a $590,000 claim to hopefully get their data back for their client in these ransomware demands. And so I don't really think this is going to be sustainable over the long haul. It's going to mean that cyber liability insurance premiums are going to go through the roof, or hopefully the insurance carriers are going to get a little bit more diligent as to, hey, Mr. Customer, do you have a solid backup and disaster recovery plan in place? Have you enabled two-factor authentication? Are you doing security in layers with firewalls, UTM, AV, and EDR? And really ensuring that their customers have a best practice and a standard that then thereby they're not as worried about paying out in claims as they would be with customers who are behind in technology, not implementing the latest, not educating their users, and are more susceptible to these issues in the first place. And so for us, it's been kind of an uphill battle to beat this stuff off at the pass, implement new technologies, implement the education, get our customers up to a new standard. But we're doing all of this work because we consistently see what's happening in the industry, what's happening in the world at large. We're trying to stay one step ahead of this for ourselves as well as our customer. Another solid week as usual on top of all of the work that we do in cybersecurity. So interviewing a salesperson and kind of going through that process. Again, we're trying to really grow our business, looking to almost double here in the next 2.5, 3 years. with where we're at. We're in a good, solid place with our stature. Our process is good. Our team is really solid. Our hiring and recruiting department and system is really moving, and we're able to attract new talent and hire new people. And then implementing a really good sales and marketing department to continue our growth. The usual weekly meetings, coach call, really looking at our bigger goal and our bigger vision is massive action and doubling our business for the sake of it. And when you look at the forest versus the trees, you understand the vision. And Damon John spoke to this. He looks at his vision every single night before he goes to bed, helping him to envision where they're going to be in 3 to 5 years. He himself, he and his businesses and the different goals and things that he has, and helps keep him focused on that bigger vision. But on the day-to-day, it's really just about taking that 1% effort, moving the needle forward, and getting just a little bit farther along every day. And when you do that every day, every week, every month, every year, you're going to see that massive action on the whole. So coach call, our 3L and our security operations team, again, always looking at what's next, what are we implementing, how do we need to be adjusting and layering in more things to protect us and protect our clients. Our sales and marketing meeting, where we're ramping up our marketing, trying to reach as many people as possible with our messaging around cybersecurity. We are not just an IT company that comes and fixes your server when it's broken. We're much more proactive, and we're highly focused on cybersecurity. And over the next 12 months, 24 months, this stuff is going to continue to get worse, and we're here doing the right things for us as well as our clients at large, where I see other IT companies kind of falling behind the curve. They're in a much more reactive state, only able to answer the calls and fix the tickets, but not really focusing proactively or on cybersecurity really at all. Met with the Woodstock Independent. We're doing another little piece on us, kind of my story and how we started the business, where we came from, and how now we've gone from 0, 0, 0 to the 85 plus clients that we serve across Chicagoland, 16 plus here in our team, and how we're going to continue that growth over the next 3 years. Halfway through 2019 and looking at what's next, spending a time away from the office, 4-hour kind of off-site meeting with Dave, and looking at what does the next 3 years look for us? Where do we want to be? How do we get there, and how do we grow our way through so that we're more prepared to be able to take care of customers better, faster, and stronger? So we follow a process called Traction, or EOS. There's a book out there that you can read. It gives you kind of that how-to guide on really, planning your business. Really, it's the vision, right? Where do we want to be in the next 3 years, 5 years, whatever it may be? And so let's say a company wants to be at $1 million in revenue, and right now they're at $500,000. How do they get that additional $500,000 in revenue and be able to build their teams and all of those kinds of things? Really, it's about knowing your numbers. How many meetings do you have to have? How many proposals do you have to send out to close a deal? How many leads then do you need? How much marketing is it going to take to get that many leads? And you just back your way into the numbers. And then that tells you, well, we need to onboard 2 new customers a month for the next 24 months to get to our target. It's going to take this much marketing, and that marketing is going to cost us X amount of dollars. And it's a simple math and numbers game to get you to where you want to be. And then you have the monthly data, or the smaller bite-sized steps that you need to take. We need to market to 200 potential leads this month so that we get 5 meetings so that we can close those 2 deals this month. And then just constantly executing on that, and then looking at the data 3 months later and saying, well, our close ratio's hurting, or we're not getting enough leads, and tweaking different things when they work and when they don't work to then, bring more to that process. But it's really straightforward in looking at, where do we want to be? And you could pick any big number. You could pick number of clients that you want to serve. You could pick how big you want your team to be, whatever it may be, and then just backing your way into those numbers. And whether that's a 5-year plan or a 3-year plan or a 1-year plan, then you're able to break it down into that more bite-sized monthly or quarterly. And that was another big thing that we did in this planning session. We're looking at, hey, what are all the issues in our business right now that if we adjusted or we fixed, we'd be better at what we do. We'd be more efficient at what we do. We'd better serve our customers. And then taking 3 to 5 of those, depending on how many team members you have, and attacking them each quarter. So over the next quarter, the next 3 months, the next 12 weeks, we're gonna take on 3 to 5 projects. We're gonna put people in charge of those, and those are gonna help us to improve our business, improve our customer service, improve our efficiency, and then next quarter we're gonna do the same thing. And then you're constantly growing, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly getting better. Stick with us again next week as I give away the soup. Watch how we grow 20% in a year. Watch how we protect organizations from the cybersecurity bad guys, and just see what we're up to every week. And as always, I appreciate your feedback. Leave a comment and ask me some questions. Happy to answer.